Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Preview and Post, where I put together an event that either I have seen or I have been a part of in one way or another. Today, my guest and co-host is YC3's Richard Vicens. So please welcome Richard. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Awesome. So, Richard, before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, what you do?
Lighting tech, as a video tech, repairs, all around. Until 2017, which I joined the YC3 family, and it's been a great journey, an awesome journey with the family, with the YC3 family, and part of that it's the Romeo Santos Utopia show. With Ruben was part of it, and a great group of hardworking people. And so far, I've been designing and programming for shows, and be part of that crazy world of creating what audience can see.
I'd say that Utopia show was definitely like the most demanding show I've been a part of in a while.
Yeah, it's
As stadium shows usually, especially not just the fact that it's a stadium show, but it was a one-off stadium show, which makes it that much more complicated. Usually for those who are joining and kind of curious as to what, there's the whole, you start with, the typical one-offs, then there's the theaters and theater clubs, the smaller rig shows that are usually just a floor package and in complexity, and then after that you have, I'd say, the small or perhaps like an opener slot and an arena tour, and those are a lot of fun because everyone loves being in an arena, and usually you just get the even if you're doing local gear rentals, it's like quick in and quick out. You get used to like, okay, this is how we need to do it, set it up in a certain fashion. When you have then a full arena show, you have the trucks that just book up to the back, and I mean, I've seen an arena show load in 2 hours and be like, how in the hell?
It's an arena show. It's what hi Paula. I think here is Paula from Chow Vet. Hello, Paula.
Yay.
Theater is an arena. It's like our common day by day.
Yeah.
We know all the turns and we know how we're gonna get succeed on that.
Right.
Because we know the tricks. But when you're doing an arena, a venue like the MetLife,
Yeah.
with a show that starts like a common size show, and what it day by day was like increasing until what we finished doing. It was crazy. Plus it was a one off, so we need to like join those two worlds of one off show and TV, the show that was going up was getting filmed. So it was a crazy process.
Yeah.
Plus, you add all the day by day new creative ideas that were coming up, and it was like, okay, Ruben, now we want to do this.
Yeah.
And it was a process. It was a really great group that we have, and I would like to get one moment to mention them because I think it's important. Because it's not my it's it's not my trophy. You know, it's a great group of people that were there day by
Certainly.
day, without hour. You know, it's like 2 3 a.m. I just woke up. Okay, I want to do this. Or Jamil, which is my partner, and he was like my, it was a team. You know, Javier Rolo, the production manager, was a great tool. He was like a super important person there.
Seriously. Yeah.
Uh, Bringing things to real. Jamil, which is a genius in this. You know, it's great to work with him. Elian and Tomas, who were programming and programming and programming and programming and programming and programming, because Romeo Santos do 3 hour show, which is not normal. Also,
Was
we are
I forget how long was the full show because
40 something songs, bro. It was like 2 3 times of what a normal show is. So 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 we just, they were like uh, programming, sending me on the night. I just during the night revising what they were programming, so I can make sure it wasn't what we want, and works for what we want on that song,
yeah.
and send them back the show file, and we start doing that workflow, no, and there was a moment that I think nobody was sleeping.
I certainly did not.
Yeah, you didn't
Actually,
sleep.
no. I
So
will. I will confess, and only because there's photographic and video evidence of this. I did sleep. I had about a 30-minute nap halfway through the first half of the show,
so
and I
so
think it was just
and
kind of like, okay, everything is running. Richard's running everything, all video. Yamil's running all the lighting stuff with Tomas. I have a front of house full of people. I had Ritesh and Fred right behind me. Uh,
which retouch.
Finally, everything is working. I'm just gonna like, I just
Yeah, yeah,
died.
yeah. Nah, but it was crazy. It was crazy. We were running like working like 24-hour shift. PRG guys, VR guys, Retech, which was a Retech Patel from Red Dot Logics, who was a piece here
Yeah,
that he was in charge of the all the engineering, and making Ruben happy, making me happy, making the vendor happy, and it was a crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was a long show. It was a hard show, and and I think the process was it was hard, Ruben. It was hard.
it was
You
hard.
were there. You suffer. You
Yes, we
suffer,
did.
and
Yes, we
and
did.
nothing was normal. The time frame that we have to create everything, a project like Utopia required like 3 months at least for
Yeah.
pre-production. We made it in 40 days,
Uh,
kind of.
yeah.
Scenic construction, the Jamil designing the all the scenics and all the going through all the details, plus
Yeah, that was a crazy part, wasn't it? I think the whole scenic, who was doing the scenic BRG, right?
PRG scenics. They were awesome. They were awesome. They were they were 100% with us. Uh, Jamil talked to the lady from the project manager like 15 times a day, going through the texture, through the dimensions, everything,
Yeah.
and so everything was like out of the normal rule. 40 days for pre-production, programming, designing plots, dealing with vendors. uh, Thanks to the NFL, we didn't have uh, we just get like 4 days of loading and everything, right? We just went into Tuesday, bro,
Oh, right.
because we got a beautiful Sunday night football something. So we start building the roof on Monday. So it was crazy,
Crazy.
and going through that, it
Okay,
was
I'm gonna.
great.
For those who haven't seen it, I have. I thought I thought I had it handier, but apparently I did not. I do have some video here that I can show. Uh, and I'll just, here, let me switch over to just so you can see the scale of the show from an audience perspective too. So, look, you have giant IMAX screens on the sides. I mean, you can. There's Romeo in the center. You have like the production in general of this thing was insane. But I'm just gonna go with, since we're gonna recreate all the video elements. We have the main screen in the back, side wings, the roof video structure, along with the iMac, and then it's kind of hard to see
Your
it from
lovely runway, Ruben.
the
Your runway.
insane runway, which is all video. Oh, and then the risers.
Right.
Big shout out to Tomás Villanueva.
Yeah, Tomas. He was like the left and right hand on the onside.
Yeah, he was.
He was there, bro, backing up Jamil and me, and Emmanuel also was there backing up us, and
Yeah.
it was a job.
Okay.
Here is Ruben. Here's Steffi Penso. Hi, Steffi. Thanks for everything. She was part of building that runway.
Yeah.
I think for everyone, the runway was like the big project.
That runway. Actually, I think, to be honest, I think the runway setup was actually one of the smoothest parts of the entire project. Looking at big picture.
Right, because they did a great pre-production job, you know, and Jamil was like super on top of that, and I think the communication with the VBG guys was awesome. Plus, we know them; they understand the media server world. They understand Ruben Lane. They understand me. They understand Jamil. So I think it was really awesome to work with them.
Yeah. There's an interesting production note from Daniel Sharif, who was the
stage manager.
Yeah, 107
psychology.
Trucks. Yeah,
the stage manager. He was everything there. It's like
107 trucks for this show.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and we're gonna try to recreate this in what's basically an hour now. Because of that long intro. So let's give that a shot. I have, unlike most times that we've started to do this process, I usually only have,
Yes, Elian, 107 trucks.
I usually have a limited amount of information on a show. For this one, we're obviously privy to a whole lot more than that. I have drawings and scenics and all that. Unfortunately, because of the amount of time that we have, I am gonna fast forward the Vectorworks export into Blender part. Part of that is because I am going to be in the Kio production design class tomorrow as a guest speaker, and I'm actually going to be talking about that process of exporting geometry from Vectorworks for AI and Blender. The guys from Kio are very close friends of Creative Integration, and recently also with YC3. So this is a mutual. It's a bit of a circle jerk going on, but definitely if you haven't been seeing at Kio production design Vectorworks classes in Spanish, they are a really amazing resource for those who are looking around. That's gonna be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern time, Miami time. Okay, so, right. I'm going to go ahead and open Blender. And in Blender, I've already imported all my geometry from Vectorworks. The only thing that's missing here is the run is the runway, and the reason for that is I can't remember the reason. Hold on. I have standby. I have the drive that I had on site. There's a runway stuff, fire chats. Yeah, we'll get to it, I promise. In the meantime, because I have all my geometry already created, the most important part of this is that we actually have the pixel maps for how we were feeding everything to screens. So let's go ahead and get started on putting all this ginormous mess into AI. Sorry, Jamil, which one? Oh, was it the bottom ones?
Jamil, that was the main plan.
Right. So there was two sections we're being corrected now that did not happen. So these puppies here need to go away. So we're gonna go ahead and select B to select these puppies, and they can go bye-bye. And B, not you. And bye-bye. Awesome. I think, what was that it, Jamil?
I think so. Let me see. I'm trying to get a photo to make sure.
I don't want to remember. Let's just call it that.
The last part we got it.
Let's just call it that. Awesome. So, Shift C to center, just because I like to see my nice frontal view, and we're gonna start exporting all these. Basically, what we wanna do is select our screens, and we're gonna actually, let's make sure before we do that they are properly UV mapped for our previs in AI and for our output as well. So what we want to do is select, let's start with the hard ones. Let's start with the roof. So if I come over here and I go to the UV editor, we're gonna go ahead and load the image for that project. So, oh my, what am I missing? Pixel maps. This would be. Let's see the full name. Canvas. That's the runway. Main screen, runway, roof. There we go. And if I change my visualizer to see text, no, materials, no, textures. Yeah, this is not properly mapped. So, no, it is. Hold on. Open. I have stuff in front of my screen. Let's go ahead and open. On the desktop. Masters. Runway roof. There we go. Perfect. So that roof is correct. And basically the way that I did this was when I did this for the show, I had to basically grab each one of these surfaces, and as we've done in other tutorials, I've grabbed every vertex or every vertice and I've put it exactly where it needs to be, so that they are, in this case, if I select this right here, make sure that we're on face selection or square select, right? I can now you know, wherever I move the map for that particular screen is where I'm gonna have it. So now that that is done, that's perfect. We're gonna go ahead and go over to the other screens. Again, just making sure that our UV maps are correct throughout. So again, to the desktop, and I should have my rasters folder. This is the main screen. Roof, side, riser, iMac, clock. Where's the main screen? Awesome. Hit tab, switch. Let's go ahead and load this one as well. Desktop. Master pixel maps. No, doing the same mistake. Raster, and I'm looking for side screens. See, these ones are not loading correctly, so I'll probably have to. Oh, that's why. Tab, load, rasters, roof, side screens. Ah, there we go. That looks right to me. At least for now, I'm gonna wait for the designer to send me a message saying, "Hey, that's wrong. That's not how we did it."
It's on the way, Ruben. You're good. You're good.
Okay. Here, next one. We're gonna head and load it.
Champion said it's beautiful, baby.
It's beautiful. Love it. It's exactly what I want to hear. Main screen, runway, roof, sides, riser and ramps, iMac.
Come on, bro. I want to see a runway, Ruben. I want to see a runway.
I'm a little bit frustrated that I seem to have missed that.
But you should have that because it's the most important thing on the show.
Let
The
me see
runway.
if,
It was your pain, your head edge was the runway.
Actually, no. To be honest, to be perfectly honest, the runway was not the hardest part for me. Thanks to the only part that was hard about the runway. Sorry, I'm like looking on 3 different computers at the same time for this files. The only part that was really complex about the runway was
The size.
no, it was
pixels.
the number of outputs for it, because there was, I think the final resolution for the thing was like 12,000 pixels by 12,000 pixels or something like that. And that was a challenge to just send. I think we ended up using 2 4K outputs and an HD output to cover all the entire runway.
Hey, Ruben, you're missing the ramp. It says here that Tomas want to see the ramp.
Tomas wants to see the ramp. Give me one. I think the ramp is merged together with the runway. So give me
I
one
wasn't.
sec.
I remember.
You remember? Let's go back here to projects. That was 2019, and
Right. Just to let people know, Elian just has the Utopia sign. Utopia sign was a scenic part. It was built and it was covered with beautiful LED strips that Jamil decided to use.
The Blender file. I found the Blender file that I used. I hope it's the right version. Nope. I think I made that file on Blender 2.9. No. But here's the runways. Let's go ahead and download this puppy and the ramp and riser. See, this is why you have to keep really good backups of everything. You never know when a client's gonna come back and say, "Hey man, remember that show?" Actually, you know what? This is a great someone who has to deal with this often is Ben Miles, the LD, the not LD, the video designer for Coldplay, because they've been using AI for over a decade, and apparently he gets one of these things that, like, an hour before the show, hey, remember that video that we used for Ghost Stories with the yeah, I want to use that. Like, that show was a circle screen projection map. Yeah, you'll make it work. And then he just walks away. Typical clients getting clienty. And so he's like, yeah, I've been, anytime that I think about switching from AI to something else, we can't. We're married to it.
There is a moment where you just go so deep into a server. You go deep on the server, and it's so hard to go out because you start like feeling it's gonna be easy that way.
So tab, we're gonna get rid of these risers. I'm gonna replace them. Import obj.
Now, ramp was on the same canvas of the risers.
Runways. Look at that, runways. What? And also file import, and we're looking for an obj that's called ramp riser. Haha! There we go, baby. I knew I had it somewhere. Let's go ahead and get this one out of the way. So we'll do, hey, damn it, Windows. Rasters, that will be this puppy. Yeah, nice. And
I agree with you, Elian. The same with the consoles.
What's happening?
No, Elian, about what we were talking about, that there is a moment where you just feel so happy with the system and feel safe with it, that you know that you're gonna be able to achieve whatever client wants. So
Yeah.
the same with the consoles. We are deep into the MA.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to change that platform.
For now. I'm not gonna let it go.
No, we're not gonna go to that discussion here. But at this moment, I can break a leg and send Elian to do a show. Elian can send his brother.
Actually, Elian is a good Titan programmer too. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. So.
And so is Tomas.
Yeah. I think all the guys are great. Here, all the guys are Rafa, Santiago.
Oh no, I'm saying that
Manchi.
they both of them know how to operate a Titan console too.
No, they can operate whatever they want to, whatever they propose. But we're at a point that we can, taking time to learn it again. It's like the curve is gonna be hard.
Actually, who I would love to have here one day in my interview is Senor Charif.
Oh, the real Charif.
The real OG.
The version one. The real one.
Yes, sir.
Daniel.
It's gonna happen. Daniel, prepárate. Vamos a hacer un show en español.
Solo que cuente historia. Sentarnos a escuchar historia.
Pero va a tomar 3 horas el show, ¿no?
That can be like a happy hour with Daniel Charif.
That's a good one. Yeah, we would need a wine and cheese for that.
Wine and cheese with Daniel. Mira, Jamil is saying that Charif version 1 it's 100% able.
I know, that's why I brought that up. Okay, so all right, we have everything's been loaded in. We have our clock, our scenic clock, our roof, our side screens, our main screen. What was it did this move? I can't remember.
The first 3 weeks of creative process, the roof was automation. Until we get the beautiful notice that we cannot load in the day we need, because of the football game.
Okay.
So then we start like bringing stuff to Rio and
What
start,
about what
based on
about
the timeline that we got.
what about the door? Did the door was the door supposed to
No,
move or no? It was static, right? It was just
no. The
offset.
door was static. The door was static.
Right. That's we just had it separate for
We
I
got
think
all that. We in a point also was up and down reveal.
right.
But we got it based on the timeline that we got
Yeah.
to do the roof rigging, the automation, and going through that.
Okay. So all right. So I have all of my I have all of my screens are set up. Beautiful. All my OB. Actually, I need to re-export the export. Whatchamacallit? This guys, the wings. File export OBJ. I'm gonna make sure that my coordinates are correct. So that's -C forward and Y up. My settings are correct. Selection only, please. I don't want to export the entire show. And I'm gonna go back here and say this is my wings or sides. I'm gonna call these sides 2, just in case we ever do it with all the screens. I don't want to destroy all that work. Awesome. So now we're gonna come back here to AI, where we have a brand new show waiting for us. I'm going to sort my by type. Okay, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have a total of 6 screens because I don't need. Yeah. So let's go ahead and number them together. So we have the clock. We have one for the main screen,
Right.
one for the sides, one for
Right.
the roof,
and
one for the eye
risers
lights.
and ramp was another one.
I think it was 6 in total.
Yeah, you got main screen, sides, roof, Utopia clock, runway, and risers and ramp. Those 6.
So 7 then.
No, 6. Man,
Isn't the risers and the ramp? Or that
it's
was
just one canvas. That was one canvas.
Yeah, the risers and the ramp, but that's okay. So then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. George, what's going on, George? How's Vegas? The desolate desert of Vegas. Our good friend George. Okay, let's. What am I looking for? I'm looking for AI. Okay, so we have 7 screens. Great. Let's go ahead and load content to all of them. So that's gonna not content. We're gonna load the models for all of those. So we're gonna start with a clock. Actually, the best way to do this is based on the content. This is something that we talked about a couple weeks back when we're talking about media management. So I happen to have my folder here with some of the content. So if we go back to see content, I actually have a song that has already been processed. And so the main screen is screen number 1. Then the next screen down, it's gonna be no, go back. That's all on the drive. Runway. I'm looking for a song that I may have in its entirety. And I think the show.
Yeah, to have content on everything.
I have some. I have most of the content.
If you got the Aventura block was on the runway, so you should have runway and everything there.
Yeah, I'm just looking for what I have in this particular drive because I had to use like 6 different drives, and I already copied like most of it to to one giant backup. And I think this is the last drive that I have left to bring into my server backup. But
Maybe it's on the other drive.
which is somewhere around here. We'll find it. Anyway, the main thing was, if you look at my rasters, you will find that you have, it's the order in which the screens were programmed is main screen, then the risers, or the runway, sorry, then the roof, the sides, the risers, the iMac, and then the clock. So that, there you go, that's 7 total. So we're gonna make this one the clear the model from that one. And so I'm just gonna resize this for a second, just so that I can see. And so my first screen is gonna be the main. My next screen is gonna be the runway. Then after that, it's gonna be the roof. Next to that, it's gonna be the side, the wings, sides. That's the name that I gave it. Then we have risers and ramp, followed by the iMac, and last but not least, we have the clock. The next big thing to take from this is going to be the resolution of all those files. So let's go ahead and put this on. Here we can take the resolution for all of those. Just trying to recreate this as fast as possible. So we'll go back and select each screen and say, okay, the resolution for this was 2912 by 1456. Next screen. 6656 by 6656, which now that I think about it was a mistake on my part. I could have made that better. 1280 by 1024. Sides were 2560 768. 2560 768. The risers and runway is 4784 by 1248. The iMacs were huge, dude. 2048 by 1664. And last, the clock at a 320 by 320.
But it looked good, right? The iMac looks good.
Oh, it definitely. So back over here to the desktop, I should have all of my models. So just dragging and dropping each one of those. The first will be the main, followed by the runways 2, then the roof, which is right here, the sides, the ramp and riser, the iMac screen, and the clock. And now if we zoom out, heyo, look at that. What it's a thing of beauty. I'm just gonna recenter my camera. I'm gonna do Shift F8 to record that camera position. Shift F7. And what will be another great angle, like, right? Yeah, we want to be able to see. I don't know. What do you think? Down here, maybe? From below,
Yeah.
audience.
Nah, the front one. Well, you can.
We already have a front one. This is like.
So
Let's do
like 15 degree to the left.
Yes,
So
yes,
we
Mr.
can-
Designer.
So we can
Working.
appreciate the sides.
Sorry, is this what you wanted, sir?
Close.
More to the left.
Little bit more. A little bit more.
One, two, three, and then if we look at that in motion, oh yeah.
Hey, I got here Newton from Dominican Republic. Ruben.
Who's there?
Hi, Newton Cortez.
Hey, Newton!
No, he's not on the restream chat. He's on my watch party.
Okay.
So
What's going on? Okay. All right. So next thing is gonna be created. Let's create a media bank.
hey, Ruben.
Dímelo.
F7 is for what? F8.
Oh,
Jamil is
so-
asking F7 and
Yeah,
F8.
we talked about this. So it's basically when you're here in the construction page and on the performance page as well. So you can use F7, F8, and F9 as like camera positions. So you can find the position that you want. Let's say, for example, this angle here. And I can do Shift F7 to record that camera position. So let's say that actually if I wanted this one to be more like this, right? Shift F8. And so now by just doing F7 and F8, I can switch between those.
So basically, with the Shift F, you're recording a camera position.
Correct.
So you can use F1, F2, F3, F4, 5,
No,
6, 7, 8.
only 7, 8, and 9 are the three camera positions.
So we can have 3 camera positions only.
Yeah. Because they're camera positions, but they're
Snapshots,
not.
basically
just,
snapshots. View.
yeah, exactly.
You're 3, F7,
And then-
8, and 9.
F11 activates the cycling through those three positions. So we just
Okay.
move between one and the other.
Okay, that's great, Ruben. It's a new feature, or
No,
it's
that-
something that you hide us.
That has been there
You
since
know-
version 6.
Okay, so since version 6, you have been hiding us that.
No.
Even with the
no,
friendship
no.
that we got.
No,
So,
that's been, as a
it-
matter of
it's-
fact, version 6, 7, and 8, when you
Doesn't
started,
work.
when you
They-
started the
that version
software,
didn't work.
when you turned the software on for the first time, it was
You
this
start-
massive screen,
Right.
right?
That you never
wrapped
saw on a
around,
show.
that used
Going
to like,
around.
move.
Yeah.
Now, here's a funny anecdote to that.
But Alexi,
That was like a feature, like it was like, I guess what they wanted to was that when you started the software, you were like mind blown, like, oh my god, I can do these crazy huge shows with AI. And to me, it was like overwhelming because the first time that you turn this thing on, you're like, I don't know what's this, right?
get dizzy about seeing that.
Well, so F11 has always turned that motion off, and 7, 8, 9 for the camera positions. Now, here's the funny thing. There's a gentleman, and I won't reveal his name because he's been a user forever, and this is like an inside joke between the two of us. He is actually an AI power user like myself, Europe-based, and for better part of the last decade that he's been using AI, he never knew that you could turn off the camera motions with F11. So
Ruben, I've been since V7.
yeah,
It's the first time I hear about this. Okay.
really? No, I think
Yeah.
you just forgotten.
No,
Anyway,
no.
for years this guy has been like doing projection mapping, all kinds of projects with the interface doing this the entire time as he's working. How he managed to do it, I don't know. Anyway, right. So we have all this is in place. We're gonna do a quick save because Jesus saves, and so should you.
So, and question, Ruben, if I wanna overwrite one of the camera snapshots, I just shift F7, F8, and F9 again,
Yeah, so
or
let's
I
say
need
that I
to go
wanted my
through
third
F something
camera-
to delete that.
Let's say that I wanted to move that to like over here. I can do that and shift F9, and so that's up. It's a simple.
Okay. So
simple override
basically,
process.
it's gonna overwrite.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to my performance page, and I'm going to. Okay, I don't need to see the timecode controls, and I don't need to see my BPM widget.
Jamil,
And we're gonna call
remember
this-
about this. So many years of friendship, so many years with Avo, and it's the first time Ruben said us that this feature was on. Okay, just have that
No,
in
I
mind.
think you're just having a memory lapse there, buddy. Sorry. because that would be like the first thing that I thought anyone in the past like 5 years. Okay, first things first. Actually, before when I got hired at Group One Evo, and they were like, "All right, so it's official. You get one feature request," and I said, "Can I make that too? I promise they're small." It's like, okay, sure. What's the first one? The first one is I want that when you start the software, all you have it's an HD screen patched out to the output and no moving screen. And that was like I think that was the first one for like version 9 or was it 10, 10.0, 10.1, which was the first release after I got started. So I'll take the not the credit, but I'll take the request credit for it. Anyway.
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new media bank for this. We're gonna call this 000 rasters, and we are gonna open our folder here. Go to the desktop.
Ruben, Jamil says that was the best upgrade that they ever had.
Good.
It's May 1 already? No, it's not May 1.
No, I have 2 days left.
Okay. It's not May 1, Ruben. May 2 we can talk about it.
2 No, well, I already mentioned it multiple times. It's I think everybody knows by now. For those who don't know yet, this humble servant, my last day, at least for the time being, at Group 1 Evo, is gonna be May 1st. And that's mainly coronavirus related than anything else.
They're gonna call you back, Ruben. They're gonna call you back. They don't have the. They're gonna meet. They're gonna release the best tech support that they have.
Hey! I don't wanna badmouth the great guys at Evo, Aaron and
on the American market, North
Okay.
America, Central America, and South America. Ruben Lane, it's top of the line, you know.
Actually, I want to give a big shout out in Latin America to Francisco Llanes, who is he's technically the representative for Evo with, I think, Pro Music.
Yeah, he's in Chile, right?
In Chile, yeah, and he is definite. I would say if you're looking for official Avolites training in Spanish for Latin America, he is your go-to guy for Titan training. Big shout out.
Okay, good. So we got another good news here. We got a tech support contact.
Certainly.
Thank you, Ruben.
For those in the States that are curious about support questions, you can still reach out to me. I love the software, I love the platform, so I'm always happy to answer questions. Just I will no longer be answering my phone after 10:30 p.m. That it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not getting paid for it anymore. So like 10:30 is the definite shut-off time. But you can call 862 AVO team, which is the official US support number.
It's on the website, right? On the Evo website.
Yes, correct. If you look into actually,
So everybody can
because
go
I know
to
that
the
we have a pretty
website.
wide audience and pretty
Have those.
international. If you go to avolites.com, you can find all the distributors and dealers and even rental partners worldwide
Yes.
in their website.
And it's
YC3,
working.
by the way,
I
is
saw
in there.
that tool and it's working.
Yeah.
Or even they can call Jamil Sharif also.
Okay, so we have our rasters in place. That was pretty easy. Now, I think that an important task would be to send this to the outputs, which is going to be hard in a way for this because there's so much, kind of, sort of. So let's do this as quickly as I can. If I
And you're
go,
using a 1920 1080 canvas, right, Ruben?
yeah, in
Which
theory.
wasn't. And actually, on the show, we were not using that. just to make it a little bit harder.
I don't know. I have the raster, the actual pixel maps for the outputs here. So I'm gonna go ahead and load those into the outputs, and let's see how we do with the 8 outputs that we have here. So basically, if I have an option to load a preview mask, and I go to the desktop, master, and I have my pixel maps. So that's 1080 number 1. And I'll go over to output 2 and I go ahead and load that. Why isn't it just keeping that same folder? Pixel maps 2. And then on my output 3, I have desktop, Santos, pixel maps, that's number 3. Output number 4 would be wrong.
Ruben, why you're using the output number 1 as an output? Because you need 8, or
I mean, yeah, sure.
right?
Yeah, I mean, traditionally, output 1 has always been your GUI. Technically, on the new machines, so the Q series of hardware that came out this year, output 1 is already mapped to output 2. So you don't have to worry about that so much anymore.
And in the new Q series, do you need to reconfigure the screens order on Windows, on the? You know that normally when you got a VX or those type of card, sometimes when you connect another output, it just jump from left to the right, and you need to like put in order the screens so AI see it.
Right. On the Q series, it is my understanding that that's not the case anymore because all the machines are hardware managed on HDMI 2.0. So by default, they're already in order and arranged in the way that the graphics card wants to see it.
Okay.
So that's another plus of upgrading to the latest generation.
Right, because normally if you on the AI, if you don't have the correct order on the screens, when you open the AI, you got a notification about that, you know.
Yeah, it kind of gets kind of grumpy about that.
Yeah. So you need to redo that before you open the. So yeah. Hey, we have a question from Jamil. Can we drag and drop the configuration onto the output?
You know what?
Or we need to load it up.
Never tried it, so let's give it a shot. I don't think that you can, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, you can!
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm going, and then she could just. Good call, Jamil. Good call.
Yeah.
So iMac, iMac upper and lower with side iMac. Oh, because is this for what? Can I have my Ritesh? Are you here? I can't remember this. I can't remember what this other side iMac here is. Because I do remember.
The like the small one.
Yeah.
That was the remember that then we had the side ones because they keep opening
That's right.
They try to make like a 360. So.
Yeah, I remember now.
We start like adding screens right in the back, in the sides, in the bathroom, in the.
So this can go away, and this is
bars.
now in the wrong output. So I have the runways left, I think. So that is runway. There is. I don't know. I think I run out of outputs. There is, this is the runways in 4K, and then we're gonna have, last but not least, the PRG 4K output. Yeah. Okay, so let's try and run these as quickly as possible. So first things first is the main screen, and I think we can use. No, because we're kind of scaled on my output, but it is as simple as swamp, and we just double click to fill it up. We set this to, I want to say 0, 0. Excuse me. And let's do, I don't know. Let's do 1500 by 1000. No, by like 800. And we're gonna use a fun feature that's here to find that. So 1200 by 600. So you'll see here when I use my cursor, if I hover over my template, it's kind of giving me the preview of where those pixels are. So that's gonna allow me, when I control the size here, I can see when I get to, because normally, yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I wanted to put that pixel right there. And so same thing here. So normally I can use this tool to import the configuration directly into it. But because I'm basically scaling it down for this particular class, because I don't have a bunch of 4K outputs connected to the server, to my work machine, we have to settle for that. So that's that, and let's find the band risers going here as well. So let's find the risers, which are right here. And so, is that correct? Yeah, that's the risers. Okay, now I don't even know anymore. That's the runway. Side screens. Yeah. So basically, if I remember correctly, this goes like this. And set this to 0. Over here to get that right. Basically, I'm using this cursors here on the right side of the output screen to set that. And do this side as well. And lastly, perfect. And now that's gonna go on our first. So 0 here. Let's go ahead and move it. Shift and arrows to move it 10 pixels at a time. Now I can just put it in place. Size X here quickly. There might be some bits that we're gonna start skipping through just to try to get us in time, because I don't want to spend more than another 10 minutes.
We can, if you want, we can cut the 10 question at the end, and so you can have more time.
Nope, that it's exactly what I don't want to lose. Nice try, nice try. Control C, Control V. Sorry. Control C, Control V. Right. And so Control Shift, we can move this guy exactly to where I need it to. Control and arrow to move just the sample side. And position 0 on the X, and Shift and arrow to move them at a time. Again, this is just me kind of powering through. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we got that screen out of the way. Let's go over to output 2. That's the iMac. Okay, so this is an interesting one. On the iMacs, we actually had, because they were so tall, and you can only send them HD to the iMacs, because that's the limit on the processors, we had to split them in half. So in this case, we did something like, I want to say like that. 0, 0. What's that? 963, 963. No, 1024. 1024 by 1024, and same thing here. 0, 0, 1024 by 1024. That is more than I thought there were on that one. So how many outputs is in this? Sorry. Cool. A97. Okay. So let's make that so here. And then the second bottom half, it could be on the next output, probably. 1 and 2, right? So I can select this, Control C, and go over to here and Control V. And what I need to do is just move the Y position to A97. And so by doing that, basically I have the one screen is divided into multiple outputs. AI does all that processing for you so that you don't have to worry about it too much.
And the synchronization, right?
As long as your system is in sync, you shouldn't have a problem. We certainly didn't.
Okay.
So I was fine.
Okay.
That was output 2. Output 3 has the same thing. So let's go ahead and go over back to the IMAX. Cool.
Do you need a scene card or something external, Ruben, for that?
If
It's a feature from the AI. It's an add-on.
the older servers, not all of them had a sync card built in.
Okay.
It was something that you had to get separately. On the new servers, they all come with a sync card. Actually, no, I take that back. On the new series, the Q4s and the Q-Gens come with the sync card and with the DeltaCast engine already built into the machine. The Q3 and the Q3 Pro require, I think it's an add-on. Actually, I'll get back to you on that one because
Okay.
It is my understanding that they definitely did a bunch of upgrades on that.
Good. Okay.
8, 9, 7. Cool. So that's the half and half. Next screen over that we have is this is done. It would be the roof. Roofy roof is right here. Perfect. And I think for this one we can use this. See, this was actually an HD output, and I kind of covered that in the output page tutorial. But basically, because when I made the UV maps for all this, each one of these screens is mapped independently, and because they have the resolution for the output, it's the same resolution as the content created. I can use the import configuration from screen, and it's basically taking all the information from the UV map and applying it to the output. So it makes that process really simple. While we're here on the clock, I can go over to our clock screen and do the same thing. The only difference is that, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it the right way and say this is 320 by 320. Control Shift. No, Shift. Perfect. What else do we have? Output 5 we did, 6 we did already, 7. This is the runway of doom. How did we do all this? I'm trying to remember.
Runway was the center part was like divided, right?
Actually, because this was 2 4K outputs, and I think I've already used like pretty much all the outputs that I have here. So we'll just show how this is done, which is if I hadn't talked about this, and now Richard's gonna say that I've never showed him this. You can actually grab this divider here on the output page to, if you're trying to see like more information on your output or on your sample, you can use these for that.
I know that, Ruben. I know that.
And if you right click it, it actually gives you, it sets it up back to the default position.
Yes.
Oh, so this you remember?
Yeah. And my complaint with it is that doesn't make sense to me, which is gonna be better as Zoom tool. You can go in, scrolling and doing Zoom instead of moving windows from side to side. So for the short memory person, going from left to right, it can be.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I have to submit my final feature request list.
You should be able to go to scroll in, going like zooming
I
in
100% agree. So
as other software, simple software.
I
Make
am
it simple.
I'm going to submit that feature request today. Right before it will be like my final act as a support person is gonna be to put in
A zoom tool. That and it's not to put the tool, make it work.
yeah.
I don't want to see the icon there. I just want to. I just want the icon to work.
Oh
And
wait,
even
which one?
I think a zoom tool that you can have a. And I don't think you need to make a new tool. I just need to. I don't know how to make that work, but you should be able to scroll in and out from a point where you have your mouse. That's it.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, good. That's there. Let's go ahead and put this where it belongs.
Ruben, Steffi said it was two 4K outputs. The center was separated.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I am.
Jamil says, thank you, Ruben.
I'm going to assume that was for the
Zoom in and zoom out, right?
The feature request.
Yeah. For the, and if you hold the space bar, and if you hold the space bar,
Oh, you want to pan? Like an Illustrator or something. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I will.
Or the wheel. Okay, or the wheel.
Makes sense as well.
Jamil, your request, it's gonna be evaluated by Creative Integrations just for the final request. Okay, thank you, Jamil.
It will be added. It will be added to that. It will be added to the final. What 624 divided by 2? Thank you, AI, for doing math for me. I love it when AI does math for me. Just another one of those reasons why I love AI is it allows me to be very lazy.
Sometimes, because sometimes the server put you to work.
Hey. No hate speech over here. No, I think that these sessions have been quite balanced and fair. Like there is just so much that we cover, and sometimes I've actually put in a few feature requests based on or bug reports based on stuff that's happened while here. So there you
go. Do they fix already the sound issue with the bug with the 48 hertz?
That's fixed on this version.
Fixed?
That's awesome. 100% fixed on this one.
Thank you, Ruben.
Yeah. Wasn't me. That would be actually. I would give the credit to Kieran, who's the lead developer, but I happen to know that it was Simone who fixed the audio engine. Not only did he fix the audio engine, but he also gave us 5.1 and 7.1 audio embedding into AI so that you can play full surround optosonic or whatever hexasonic. I don't know. I'm not a sound guy, so. But you do have 7.1 audio output now, which I bought. This I got myself one of these. It's like a 7.1 audio out interface, which also has fiber SPDIF in and out.
You're gonna try it, Ruben.
Oh, I already tried it. It was perfect. It worked exactly as expected.
Okay, and the synchronization between the video and the audio, it was okay. It was good. It was perfect.
I couldn't see any problems on that. So
I'm gonna try it because you know that I normally have problems.
Yeah, sure. Dale.
I'm gonna try it. I want to try it.
Okay, so for all, I like to think that this show is ready to go for the most part. We've created everything. There was no moving scenery on this one. There was just a massive amount of pixels going here.
I think the tile count was 4,000 something, right?
The what?
Was the tile counts.
I am not. You know what? I don't want to remember that if I did or not.
I think I got it right down someplace. I think it was 4,100 something panels, LED panels.
Uh, actually, I think that's like just the floor must have been. Stephanie, how many tiles on the floor?
Yeah, Steffi, if you're here, please give us light on that. How many tiles was the small runway that we got there?
There's a possibility that the next thing that I'm gonna do is gonna absolutely obliterate my system.
But it's okay, Ruben. You
No, I'm still on
needs to be
50
like
frames.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, Steffi, it's on the mental hard drive going back to see how many tiles she had on the runway.
Yeah. Yeah. So that pretty much puts us at the end of the show. Okay. So, any questions based on the stuff that we did here? I know that we didn't go like fully. I mean, yeah, no, we did, didn't we? We did go pretty deep onto some things on the output page, perhaps, and importing models. But is there any questions from the audience?
For the speaking Spanish people, ¿alguna pregunta para Ruben Lane sobre?
Podemos estar en modo bilingüe también.
Sí. Acá atendemos a todos, los queremos a todos, ¿eh?
For our American friends, you just right click on the stream and select SAP. No, I'm kidding. There's no hay SAP en español inglés.
You know that you need to make a live with Retech just so he can talk a little
I'm
bit.
actually I'm trying to have him teach some stuff about video. I want him to teach his the Red Dot Logics, the Pixel Perfect software.
It's working awesome. The new version, it's great.
Yeah, I want to host it so that he teaches it. Like, I'll be the co-host and he'll be teaching it.
It's gonna be awesome
through here.
But it's good to have him to talk a little bit of the engineering on this show, because he was, I think it was a challenge for him making things work.
I actually, you know what? I hate to say this, but I've done larger shows with Ritesh. I think that the challenge for him may have been may have been other.
Sorry, Ruben. Can you put a live camera on the IMAX, your camera, so we can see you on the?
Oh, you're gonna.
It wasn't my question. It wasn't my question. It's Jamil's question.
I know.
It's
so
me.
Here's the tricky. Yes, the short answer is yes. I may have to stop putting it here.
Dímelo, Juancho. Abrazo. Saludo, Eggy.
Cannot share a camera
Abrazo
with
para ti
multiple
también.
devices. Doink. I'm gonna have to do one of these. So bye from here. And that should enable me. Hey! This is only because Jamil asked, and I gave. So I want to control save this.
Ruben Elian is asking if we can talk a little bit of the playback. How you control and program the media. Jamil is gonna be talking about control on the next slide, right? Or
no, Jamil's gonna be talking about Jamil.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll get to it in questions if you want to.
But I can, Elian, it was 3 layers per screen minus the Utopia clock, which has 2. IMAX was 2 layers. Jamil, if you remember something different about it, please let me know. But I think it was three main screen. Three layers per screen, minus iMac and minus Utopia Cloud, which was 2 per screen.
So one
And
thing that I'm gonna go in
Run,
here.
Ruben, runway was around 900 panels only. Chose the runway.
Really?
Wasn't bad. Yeah,
Way more.
around it. Yeah.
Okay, so there's one thing that I need to go into because we used a
Míralo.
single because we used a single screen for controlling the IMAX screens. I actually made a custom patch for the output on the show, and I can recreate that kind of quickly.
You can, Ruben.
I just need to remember what's the resolution of the screen.
Region
we're
texture.
gonna- 1024 by 1664. Remember that number. Okay,
1024? I don't remember the last number.
1664.
1664.
I'm gonna go ahead and open my camera patch, and basically, this is gonna go a little bit into salvation. But as you can see here, I have basically just my one output, and I need to split that into two. So, or basically copy it into two. So we're gonna open.
And
this
the
real
split
quick.
tool should work for this. This moment is where a split tool should work, or no? No, because if I want to have a content for the whole screen,
Correct. Basically, what I need to do here is grab the center section here of the content and then duplicate it twice, and then merge it together as a single piece of content. So
okay,
to
using
do
a region
that-
texture, right?
Correct. I'm gonna put insert system patch and sample texture region simple. And what sample texture region does is basically the same thing that the output page does in a mathematical formula mode. So basically, I'll take my 1920 by 1080, and I'm gonna take that into here, and I can put that.
Jorge Estrada is asking, does it do kaleidoscope? I think the area has the effect,
Of
right?
course, it does kaleidoscope, Estrada. For those who don't know, when I was working at Sábado Gigante, George Estrada was my screens director. Was that the right term title? And he was basically in charge of calling all the content that we put on screens behind the Don and the arts. And many times we had acts that showed up, I'd say at the very last minute, or we had a change with no content. And he was like, hey, what do we have today? Banda? Perfect. Kaleidoscopio. Boom. Always a winner. A little bit of glow edges and something. It was always a winner. Okay, so what I need to do here is grab just the center section of my content, of my camera feed. So my source resolution is 1920 by 1080. And we set 1660?
1664. 64, bro. 1664 by 1020 something.
Right.
Now,
So
Ruben, just quickly, I want to mention something. I got on my Facebook watch party Eggy Allende. Eggy was the production manager that called us for Wisin y Yandel in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
He was the production manager at that moment. Eggy, tomorrow, right, Ruben? Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about the Wisin y Yandel project.
Yeah,
It's
we're
tomorrow.
como antes.
Right, it's the same. It's the same tour.
Yeah, exactly.
So, ¿qué? So, mañana a la 1, ¿verdad? Sí, a la 1. Elian, ¿no? Va a estar.
Sí, señor.
Ok. Mañana a la 1 iban a abrir los muchachos el show file de ese show hermoso que se hizo en el Choli.
I'm trying to get this done super quick, and it's not gonna be super pretty, but deal with it. Right. This is 1080. Yeah. And no, that's fine. Let's call it. Just make sure that. This correct? 1080. I think this needs to be like 500. Ay, ay, ay. Give me 1 second here. Aye. Okay, so I think basically what I need to do is recreate this screen here. So I'm taking 1920 by 1080, and I just want to take the center section of that screen. So let's say for the width, it's 1920 minus, what was the extra solution there, Richard?
1664 by 1024, right?
1024. And then divide, no, my output needs to be 1024, sorry. 1024 by 1664. I need to use some math here for this. Basically, if 1024 is my, I need a darker map, and I'll show that real quick. 1024 is 1664. So if 1080 is my height, what would be my width? So basically, for those who remember the rule of thirds, yeah. So in that case, calculator. So right, so 1080 times 1024 divided by 1664. It's 664 is my width. So I need to do so my 664 would be that, and so I can do 1920 minus 664 divided by 2, and that should give me a pretty normalized screen size. I think that's going to be correct. So now I need to copy this into 2 of them, and the output of this one's going to come out at 1024. Then I'm going to grab a insert module GL render merge. Again, some of these things we've covered before, so I'm letting you guys go back into the archives and find classes into like what I'm doing here. Insert module or system patch render to texture. Insert module GL render to texture to transform that into something that AI can use, and that's going to be what was that resolution again, senor?
1664.
No, the final resolution, sorry, is 2048 by 1664, was the 2 of them together, right? So 2048 by 1664, and that's going to be my output patch for that. And I'm going to go ahead and file, save as. I'll put this on the desktop, call it iMac 2 up. And now I can come here and do add new media from the desktop, iMac 2 up. And that should be victory. Sorry, that was a very long way around that. But we did it.
Here you go, Ruben.
There's that's Yamil's question of the day. Yesterday, Richard made me go into a 20-minute diatribe. Here is, of course, Yamil sends me on another diatribe.
I'm just, my job is to read the chat, and I cannot look to the side with that question. I need to make it.
Well, with that, it is time to switch away from this, and we're gonna go into. Sorry, I'm gonna have to close AI here. So we're not. It's time to switch our attention back to Senor Richard. You thought you'd be safe.
I'm on overtime already, Ruben. What time it is?
You're on overtime? Nah,
yeah,
you're
it was
never.
1 hour of this, and you're now 1 hour and a half.
You're never on overtime with me. It's part of our contract. I don't charge you overtime. You don't charge me overtime.
Okay.
A ver. So, Richard,
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and ask you the 10 question questionnaire. This
Go.
is originally this questionnaire. Bernard Pivot came up with this questionnaire. It's a French variety show back in the forever ago. James Lipton picked it up, and it became part of the Inside the Actor Studio. And since his passing, I've always been a fan of Inside the Actor Studio, and James Lipton is like, I need to take this into my show. So for those who are questioning or wondering where this comes from, this is where this questionnaire comes from. So, Richard, first question.
Yes.
What's your favorite word?
Yes, let's do it.
That's
Positive.
good. Yeah, yes, I like yes. What's your least favorite word?
No, bro. It's. I try to not have that word on
Which is why I never say it to you. The
Yeah.
answer's not no, Richard. What turns you on?
Close people said food, but I think it's help. I think help. Helping people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Helping people.
What turns you off?
Negative people can be
Sure.
negative people.
Mm-hmm.
Bad people, abusive people.
Okay. What is your favorite curse word? Wow.
I use them a lot.
That
It depends on the moment, Ruben. I got like
there's gotta be.
Ah,
That's
no, Ruben.
exactly what
No,
I've been
no,
thinking about. I didn't want to say it. I was waiting for you to say it.
it depends on the moment, but the most common Puerto Rican word is puñeta. I think
Puñeta.
puñeta is like there is a puñeta for everything.
Yeah. I think it's just the inflection in the voice of how you say.
Right.
Puñeta.
That depends on the moment, and you can see puñeta, and depending on the moment, it have a definition.
It's a very versatile word.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you love?
The keys on the board when I hit it, that clack clack clack
Yeah?
clack clack clack. Yeah.
Nice.
It
What?
means that we're doing something.
Yeah. What sound or noise do you hate?
Bro, and I don't want people to get this personal, but I hate the fucking sound checks.
I think I'm gonna be
It's-
hearing that answer a lot.
Bro, it's the fucking 2 hours kicking the kick of the drum, 2 hours hitting the snare, blah blah blah, and it's super annoying.
Yeah.
Sound checks, bro. Sound checks.
Okay. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
And I thought it was being a pilot, but during this time, I think I want to have some charity foundation, just to get food to people, bro.
Yeah.
Food and help. It's one of my goals right now. Let's see how soon I can go into that. But I think there's gonna be a moment that I'm gonna go straight to that,
Nice.
and maybe being a pilot. I don't know. I need a retirement career. I don't want to be flying at 60,
Sure.
or just fighting with people at 60.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easier to say, you know what, get out of the fucking plane. That's it. No, don't talk to me. I'm the law. Go out. I don't care. Then, you know,
Just be a
because the
pilot in the little room in
customer
the
service
front.
deal, you know, and I love this profession. It's I think the people that it's in this more than the money is because you love this, because it's a really tense, hard, uh, breaks you sometimes.
Yeah.
And the pay, you know, the payback, it's more than money. The satisfaction to see people enjoying what you do,
Yeah.
or we need money because we cannot pay bills with satisfaction.
Certainly.
But definitely, I would like to make something else, because I don't see myself uh, flying so many. And I wanna be here for my daughter. I have a daughter. It's
Yeah.
gonna be around 1 year now. So thanks to COVID, to the quarantine, she
COVID.
knows that I'm, yeah. Now she knows that I'm his dad, and her dad, and I'm not the
Yeah.
person that
The guy that
comes to
comes in
visit.
and out on the
Yeah,
weekends,
yeah.
on the weekdays actually,
I'm
not the
not. I'm not
weekends.
the mailman. You know, I'm your father. So,
Yeah.
so I want to be for her, and you know, it's really hard on this profession, and to be uh, for them 100%, because 90% you're flying out of your home.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, maybe if I'm a pilot. Look,
Ah.
Jamil is the madrino of the
Yeah. Okay.
Valeria.
I want to move on. So,
Yeah,
what profession would you like? Would you hate doing, or would you like to not do?
customer service, bro. I hate to deal with people. I hate
Welcome
to
to the
deal with.
club.
Yeah, that's what I think Jamil is like the customer support, YC3 customer support, because he got that talent. Oh, Elian also is like really that person
Elian,
that
Elian
I think
should be
Elian
a
is a,
late night radio host.
yeah.
He's got that smooth voice and just
Yeah,
that calmness
but
to him that he can just like, oh yes, of course.
yeah, but I really, customer service. I cannot
Customer
deal with,
service.
deal with people. It's really hard.
Okay. Now, to close it up, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Thanks for helping people, bro. Uh, it's. I think that's the most important thing. Help, 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 help. We need to help the other ones, and we are at some point, and we're in an advantage position. We got advantage, and in your case about integration, and I know you do that. I know you go into that a lot, because we call you. I personally call you 3-4 times a day, and there's no issue with that, and same with me, and going through this situation of the COVID and all that stuff. I just realized that we need to help, and I would like to go up there and say, you know what, thank you for helping people.
Nice. Richard, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you to everyone that tuned in to see us. It was definitely one of the most fun chats. This week is going to be hard to
Hey,
top.
we break the record, 100 messages.
No, we did that yesterday too. Sorry.
Okay.
But this whole week has been a lot of fun. It's gonna be hard to top it off.
I think, Ruben, we have material to do like another one. I think we can keep. It's
We'll
more
let
than it's
everyone cool down for a bit, and then we'll bring it
yeah,
back.
no, but if we can share our knowledge and keep helping other ones through this platform or whatever, I think Jamil, my person, all the guys are available to do it, and whatever you need, just
Yeah,
come with us. And
hopefully next time we can host it right here in the studio, and have you in person, which would be so much more fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Richard, so much. Thank you, everyone,
Dale,
for tuning in.
Take care. Thank you, bro.
Tomorrow at 12 Eastern Time, mañana a las 12 del mediodía, vamos a tener a Elian Sharif. We're going to have Elian Sharif tomorrow at noon. We're going to be talking about the Wisin y Yandel Como Antes tour. Similar process. We're going to recreate. Actually, on that one, I am going to, because I do not have all the 3D assets for that one, so I'm going to have to recreate a lot of that. But we will be covering all that from top to bottom. Then at 3 p.m.
And the automation, Ruben.
With the automation, correct. Then, because we have to have that opening sequence, and I actually have a piece of content.
Yeah. Because.
Then tomorrow at 3, I'm gonna be with Jose Antonio Bermudez in the Kio Production Design Vectorworks class. I'm gonna be teaching about some of my processes for on how I use Vectorworks when I'm doing projection mapping and LED video projects. And then tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Miami time, I have Yamil Sharif, and we're going to be doing a in-depth interview into his life, his creative process, and YC3 Latin Design. Well, with that, thank you very much.
Hey. Take care, Ruben. See you on Friday.
See you next time. Cheers.
All right, take care.